T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Shake it back! Does that feel good? Yeah.
Da, 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 da. That's my new intro. Welcome, Shaking Bakers, to episode 21. Can't believe we've done 20 of these things of the Shake and Bake Show with Stevie Fast, Jackson, Slice of Cake, Double C, Courtney Enders, and Lyle smoked his eyebrows clean off. Barnett. Sponsored by Yingling. Yeah, this broadcast is brought to you by Yingling Lager.
I'm representing the great state of Texas today with a Topo Chico hard seltzer.
All right, so let's start there. Tell us what you're drinking. We know what you're drinking. And how did we end up with that seltzer today?
Well, I love Topo Chico. When I drink vodka, I usually do it with Tito's and soda or Tito's and Topo. And I was at the grocery store today just trying to imagine what kind of buzz we were going to get tonight. And it's 149,562 degrees here in Texas. My AC fan motor went out yesterday on a brand new construction house. So I've been hot since the day before I left Indy. And I decided I was too hot to drink wine. It's working now. So we landed on this for today.
All right, question.
Are we under warranty?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, question. What does AC stand for in its phrase that you're talking about?
Air conditioning.
What does AC stand for when it comes to electricity?
Why would you ask me questions? I don't know.
I knew you didn't know it. Lyle, what's been going on, buddy? This is going to be an action-packed episode. We have a lot to cover with everybody in the chat. Tell her what the answer to that is. We got a lot to cover. We got the U.S. Nationals coming off what I feel like was one of the biggest races of the year. It was packed. It was 900 cars. Yeah, alternating current.
Got it.
Guess what what is the battery voltage? What's the current system in your car? 12 volts.
Stevie, I'm the pretty one on this show. I don't need to know this stuff.
It's direct current. We've got special guest Matt Hartford. By the way, before we get to that, we'll talk about it in a minute when we get to Indy. What have you guys been up to? I'm sorry that we're a day late. If most of you notice, we do this show on Tuesdays. It is Wednesday. After my dismal performance in Indy, we elected to stay over and test both cars on Tuesday. And for you guys that don't race a lot, it's tough after you've been at the racetrack for 7 days straight to spend another day beating on it. But I was flying. I was in the air yesterday and couldn't do the show. So thank you guys for tuning in a day late. Hope we're not stepping on anybody's toes. Courtney, what have you been up to?
Well, like the rest of us in this world, I've been in Indy for what seemed like 152 days, which was awesome. A lot of stuff went down there. But now I come home for 2 days, and then we're going to Scottsdale for Jenna's bachelorette party this weekend. So I've been getting ready for that.
That sounds awesome.
It's going to be.
Can I come to a bachelorette party? Me and Lyle want to come.
Nope. The only thing that we have that is boy related is we've got these chase heads that we're going to have around town.
Can I have one of those?
Yes.
Yeah, save me one of those. Because anytime someone's yelling at me, I want to be able to pull that out. So that's exciting. Lyle, what you been up to? I know you were covered up yesterday. What's going on in Lyle world?
I haven't seen you since last Tuesday in the great state of Kentucky. Since then, I came back home and we are wide ass open at MacFab. Trying to get ready for the week of Duck. Speaking of that, if there's anybody on here who would like to have their wheels converted to beadlock while we are at South Georgia, the list is open at MacFab. You can get on the list. We do beadlocks on site in Georgia. Courtney covered that with Flo last year. If you go back in Flo's YouTube channel, you can see that. But the list is open. We're only taking 20 to 25 spots. Last year we took 30 and it was way too much. So we are trying to get ready for Duck Week, get ahead of the game. We're super busy, which is great. But yeah, yesterday was not a shake and bake day for me either. So getting ready for a big no prep weekend at our local track, Mooresville Dragway. JJ, the boss of the Memphis Street Outlaws, is bringing his arm drop event to Mooresville Dragway. 2 years ago, we won it with beer money. They did not come last year, so today I spent just a little bit of time before I left the shop this afternoon putting beer money in the trailer, getting ready to go spank some booties.
Question, Brad Furman. I was very pleased to be charged $500 per car after testing instead of $32,500. That's what Lyle thinks about it after he smacks him around. So I'm glad Indy came around and didn't do $32,500. It was very fair at $500 a car. We got, man, I'm trying to get some of these questions because there's some good ones in there on our way through. I do not know if Double C will be at I don't know if Double C will be at No Mercy, but I know myself and Lyle will be. I'll be tuning Timmy Meisner's car. I'll be down there, be like in the world. Are you going to be anywhere near that race?
I'm not sure yet. We may divvy it up between Dawn and myself just because it's so long and I've got races on the bookend of each of that 12-day situation. So I'm sure I'll come down for a day or two and be on the broadcast for race day, but I will not be there the whole time.
Walkman, we'll get to this in a little bit. A little later, a little more bourbon in when we get there. Going to Donald's race is an absolute beatdown. I mean, it is. If you run RVW, you're very often on times on the racetrack at 9 a.m. because it's the only time they can go down the track, and then they run you at 2 a.m. because it's the only time I go down the track. So many times you're at the track 18 to 20 hours a day, and I think we have 2 of them in a row.
Yep.
So are you down there for the full?
I told Timmy to pick whichever one he wants to win, and we'll go to it. And the other one, he'll just have to figure it out on his own.
It's a lot.
I can't stay there that long. Like, I have a limit, 100 hours per week, maximum amount of racetrack. That's it. Not 105, 100 hour minimum. So he can choose.
You could spend 100 hours there in like 2 days.
Yeah. So I told him to pick the 100 that he wants, and we'll go there.
So Wednesday.
Yeah, I see all the comments going. We're gonna get to some of the spiciness. Matt, did you get the shake and bake picture that I sent today?
Oh boy.
I'm gonna send this. I'll send this to you, Matt. We got a new brand of merchandise coming out. Shit.
I had quite a few.
I saw a bunch of comments asking.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Lady, age before beauty.
Lyle, somebody asked if you were going to, let's see. Did you get some Hot Wheels that somebody sent you? Did you ever get the Hot Wheels sent Nash and you months ago? Did you get that?
Yes, I did. Thank you, by the way. My bad. We moved. We just bought a house. My life's in the mess right now. Sorry.
The Shake and Bakers as a whole, our lives are in the dumpster. And
yeah,
so I'm letting you know that we're the back end of the season. I walked into the gym this morning, and somebody that I work out with a lot looked at me just as soon as I walked in and said, "Damn, you look like shit." And I'm like, I love honesty. So
dude, I don't think people really realize, like, we go to these races and we're all full of energy and you have fun while you're there, but by this time of year, like, your fuse and your give a shit for anything other than just keeping your head above water, it's really hard to do. And I actually snapped at a few people this weekend. I was not my best self this weekend.
Boy, I can't wait to get to this whole Erica drama. It's been the talk of the town. We're gonna save it for a little bit. Hold on, Matt's got something. Okay, yeah, he's got it. So we have I posted this on my social media today. I actually have this in my trailer, and if I can find it in our deal, put that on there, Matt. Somebody brought this by for you, Lyle. We now have Shake and Bake now has fajita flavored Shake and Bake. So if you like fried chicken and you enjoy crispy buffalo, we also now have a new flavor available in the KTR trailer. It is the fajita flavor.
I got me a regular. I got a chicken parmesan flavor from that guy.
Yeah.
They make that stuff that you can spray in the toilet before you go boom boom, called poopery.
I didn't know that.
Well, they do. And now I'm going to use the fajita flavored shake and bake for the same thing so I can poop on it.
I want to
Fun
say
fact.
thank you to all the fans that came by and saw us at Indy. I drank bourbon with a lot of you, and I drank beer with a lot of you, and I really had fun hanging out with you guys. That was probably the most fun I had in Indy, was hanging out with the Shake and Bakers after hours. But before we get to Indy, you guys got anything that y'all want to talk about before I start diving in and machine gunning the world?
You know what I want to talk about.
I know. We're gonna get there.
I did see a couple comments asking if JJ accepted my call out for the little grudge deal. He did, but we have not talked about when we're going to do it. So I don't really have an answer for you. I asked him if he wanted to grudge race with zip tie. He said yes, but we have not spoken about it since. But for those of you in the greater Mooresville area, Charlotte area, if you want to come see some good racing this weekend, Mooresville Dragway's place to be.
There we go. And thanks, Joe Colt. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. If you like our show. If you don't like our show, then don't like it.
Then go somewhere, I reckon.
Yeah, screw yourself.
Hey, we're not there yet. I said we're going to get into the bourbon a little bit more. I'm excited to have our guest on. Before we get to that, let's run down some of the other classes that happened in Indy. When we got to Indy, I was shocked by the amount of race cars that's there. I don't know if I've ever seen 900 cars I know I'm not at Indy, but I don't know if I've ever seen it at any race. That's a lot of race cars. NHRA did as good a job as I think anybody can do getting those cars down the track in a timely fashion. We ran when we were supposed to, and it was really good racing. I can't tell you how many whole shot wins I saw, close red lights, long red lights, but it was really good racing. Is there anything besides what we're going to talk about later that stood out for you guys from the race? Lyle, I had 5 million people come by my pits looking for you. Me
too, dude.
I mean, what can I say? It's the beard. So I did not make it, obviously. But I don't know what's going. I've been jealous over the past several races that somebody that just had a decent starting line presence in Pro Mod this year could win the championship, like no problem. Like I don't know what's been going on across the board. There's just been people everywhere. A bunch of whole shot. I mean, like 100 lights. Yeah. You know, just wild stuff going on. And like for the past 2 years, if you went up there and were worse than 19, you're probably leaving second. And so, Stevie, I don't know if you went red, so you need to go sit in timeout. But maybe you can comment on that. But across the board, like some guys with some really fast race cars that could win if they were 40 or better, are 80 to 100. And I've just thought that in my opinion, watching Pro Mod this week, it was just like, where was there a zoo there? Did they spend way too much time at the hotel bar the night before? It's just been some less than stellar driving.
The Embassy Suites bar was, how do you say, lit every night.
I stayed in my motorhome at the track.
You did? I didn't even see you.
Stay away from all y'all idiots. That's why last time I was at the Embassy bar, I had to carry somebody up the elevator.
There was some of that.
Yeah. Matt, throw up the beer counter. Where Lyle's on number. Doso Maximo. Caps's Perdome car was absolutely killer. It was one of my favorite race cars I've seen.
And I want to dick slap people around all weekend.
And I want to go ahead and say that I called that. That was my pick. Thank you. Good night.
I want to apologize for during the NHRA Pro Mod driver autograph session for flicking off the camera. I did not know that was live. I just thought somebody was taking a video and they put the phone in my face and I gave them the old finger and they're like, we're live. So I apologize if your kids were watching or something. I had no idea. I told them, y'all got to tell me when I'm on live television or live.
That's why you got a 15-second delay on Fox.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry about that. And yeah.
Well, do you want to run through these other classes real quick before we get old Matty Matt on here?
First, I want to know who I picked for Pro Stock.
For Pro Stock, you picked Greg Anderson.
So I didn't get anything.
No, he lost first round.
All right, let's roll. Let's roll through it from the bikes up. We'll skip Pro Stock. Actually, we'll talk about Pro Stock. We'll get Matt on here, but Pro Stock bike. Who did I pick?
Pro Stock bike. You picked Angie, Lyle picked Gage, and I picked Hector. And the final round was Hector and Matt. So your girl CE takes the win for Pro Stock bike.
So you picked 2 out of 4.
No, Hector runner up. Matt Smith won. I picked Hector.
Okay.
Gage lost in the semis to Matt, and Angie lost in the semis to Hector. So we were all in the mix for that. Let's go. We'll just do a quick Pro Stock. You picked Greg, Lyle picked Dallas, and I picked Erica, and we all were wrong. And Matt's going to come on here and tell us how wrong we were because your boy Matt Hartford won.
Absolutely
hard to beat all weekend. Laid down the hammer Friday night. Funny car. Stevie picked Chad Green. Lyle picked Robert Height, and I picked Ronald McDonald Caps.
But I will say this: Chad Green ran awesome again.
It's coming.
He's going to win. He
coming.
ran awesome again. It's going to happen.
It is. Then we all got it wrong for Dragster. Stevie picked Sarge. I think I got this wrong. You picked Clay, didn't you, Lyle?
I think so.
And then I picked Brittany.
No.
Thanks
I definitely picked Antron.
You didn't pick Antron.
You loser.
Well, I mean, if y'all don't know, then
I just had ours flip, but I remember picking Brittany. And what I think is interesting is this being Indy. A lot of times, like we talked about, Indy's a storybook kind of place, and weird things happen there and whatever. But 3 out of the 4 of the winners were the winners from last year. I don't know Lewis Bloom, but I want to know when that's happened.
Yeah, that's funny in the comments.
What?
Nothing. I want to talk about the turnaround on Antron's deal because I feel like that was the story of the race.
Yeah.
When if you don't know Antron Brown, he's a very upbeat, very positive, my glass is always full guy. When I saw him Sunday night, he was not that guy. You could tell he had a lot of pressure on him. I saw more red lights than I have at Indy this week. People say that it's just another race. It's not. It's not.
Definitely not.
Most of the time when I speak at charities or speak at schools, they will announce me more times that I'm a 2-time U.S. Nationals champion than they do that I'm a 2-time Pro Mod champion. It's a big deal to have won Indy. And Antron was feeling that pressure. And when he came out on Monday, he laid the meat on the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Number 15 qualifier.
Mushroom stamp.
I saw him
Tuesday from last year.
Yeah, I saw him Tuesday morning when we were getting ready to test. He was sitting on the tailgate of his pickup truck in the pits. And I said, "You have a long night?" He's like, "No, I'm good, man." He said, "I just had to slide that thing in there Stevie Fast style." And I was like, man, Antron's the man.
Antron's one of the coolest people ever.
Yeah, so that was good top fuel racing. I mean, there's a lot of teams do. And, I mean, you think these people don't take it serious. Tuesday, I'm sitting there, and there's 8 or 9 top fuel cars testing after Indy.
After
you don't
days and days.
After 4 days of racing, they're up there making laps. So it's cool to see everybody care about that. And when we get, Metalhead for sure. Bahrain 1 was dominant all weekend. Belushi, Justin Bond, and Chris Thorne are putting on a clinic in Pro Mod.
So, Stevie, you picked Scruggs, Lyle picked Scruggs, and I picked Justin Bond. So I believe I won this week.
You won the average of the picks. But you can tell the off-season prep and the folks they got working on that team are doing a great job. They're not making mistakes. Stuff's not falling off. And they're making exceptionally good runs. Person's doing a good job. Jamie Miller's doing a good job. What are you laughing at?
Some mistakes made.
Oh, you're talking about me?
No, I'm talking about in the Bahrain.
Yeah. A lot of times it happens when you have a dominant car. It's easier to do that. It's not that you don't feel the pressure; it's that you feel more pressure. But yeah, they're a couple of them are struggling, but they're going to get it. I think it's going to be exciting to go down the stretch. I can't say anything about anybody's driving, so I drove like shit. So I can't. I have no negativity
But
towards
you're
anyone's
back.
driving. It was fun.
It's your first one back, man.
Yeah, the first burnout, being the first car out, like was really cool. And the way they pair these things up, you don't ever want to be the first car out in qualifying. That means you're slow or you haven't raced this year, you suck. But watching everybody stand up and get on their feet, not only during the first burnout, but coming back up the return road, the fan encouragement, it was pretty badass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We ran okay. I think I qualified 11th. Brand new car. We literally started it at Tuesday in Bowling Green.
Yep.
Is when we cranked it up for the first time. So I'm impressed with how that car ran as fast as it did. It's definitely not sorted out yet, but that's a badass race car and it's going to win. As far as the red light, I've got more shit about me going red by 026 than like anybody. It's Indy. You're running Mike Castellana and Frank Manzo. Just everybody.
Well, if everybody's not sat there before, they can hush.
Yeah, and if you've never sat next to Mike Castellana in the car you won 2 world championships with Frank Manzo tuning it, you won an Indy, you just don't know what it's like.
Just hush.
And then Mike goes 15 and outruns me by 300s. There's no way I could win.
What are you gonna do?
I went 588, he went 585. He was 015 on the tree. What are you going to do? So that's a badass team that's coming in their own too. But I am looking forward to potentially down the road trying again.
Something interesting, and I think we'll probably touch on this with Matt when he gets on here, but I think that first round oil down by Christian Quadra in the burnout of Pro Stock, first pair, that changed the entire day for our situation. Lane choice was very heavy. Left lane, it was worth about 2. And as soon as that happened, that lane went to shit. Bo shook immediately. Greg shook immediately. Lane choice changed for the whole day. And that's the kind of Indy. It didn't work well for us, but that's the kind of Indy that I think is crazy or any race that something like that changes the trajectory of the whole day. And had that not happened, the ladder is going to fall a completely different way. And it was just absolute mayhem in Pro Stock.
Yeah, when I was there on Tuesday morning and they extensively worked on that. They prepped the right lane for the nitro cars and told us that the door cars were going in the left lane, and you could still see that trail of oil. And
Oopsie.
I told them I will not go down the left lane. I'm not running my car over there. I'm going to run in the right lane. And all the nitro guys talked about it and said that was okay. But you can't get that up. You just can't. You cannot get that amount of oil, and especially gear oil up. It's still there. Like in a month, bad. It's still going to be there.
That was very unfortunate. That was awful. And golly, sorry.
And while we're on the Pro Mod train, because we'll ride the Pro Mod train until Clutch Foot 1000 gets on here. But a lot of comments about the nitrous combination. I think parity is really good. Do I think the nitrous car needs to be hit again? Probably. Just very effortlessly runs up front. But we're also running in hot conditions when a nitrous car excels. If they can't whoop you when it's 110 grains and 85 degrees outside, they're not ever going to win. I think the rules are close. I mean, the screws right there, the fast roots cars are there. I think it's pretty good. 100th or 2 maybe adjustment, 5 or 10 pounds, but we're definitely not needing 20% overdrive changes and stuff like that like we were. Do you guys have a different opinion?
No, I mean, I was actually going to make a post, but I didn't want to get into a grammar conflict with Ricky on the internet, so I let it be. But I was going to make a post about it. Did seem like Ricky came out there and just kind of effortlessly put that thing atop the chart. However, Ricky's been doing it the longest. He's got all the tune-ups and everything that he needs to go out there and run good with an NHRA rule set at an NHRA prepped event. So I guess it was kind of expected that he was going to go out there and run good. It would be nice to see somebody else, whether it is a Dean Marinas and Chad Green fielded car or somebody else who has done the nitrous thing in NHRA Pro Mod to come over there and run at the same event Ricky is running at and kind of see how they stack up. But it was, I would say that was kind of to be expected. We all knew that Ricky was going to go there and run good.
Well, you've got a car that makes the most power of anything there, and it's the lightest. They're hard to race in the sunshine. Ricky's very good at it, and he's got a lot of laps. I mean, you can't replace that experience. I'm just glad he brings it out every once in a while and makes us all look silly. It was pretty good. He was parked next to me. He was not in a good mood on Monday.
No.
There was a lot of people not in a good mood on Monday.
Well, everybody but about 5 of y'all.
Question for you, CE. Did Richard fire the oil cap person?
No, shit happens. And honestly, if you know Richard, you may think that he's a lot more reactionary than he is, but he's a pretty understanding guy. We got a lot of stuff going on over there, and shit happens.
All right. We'll get back to Pro Mod later. We've got somebody in the green room I've been wanting to get on our show in a long time. We buy parts from him. Y'all know him. He's your U.S. Nationals Pro Stock champion. Badass hot rod. Has fun doing it. Probably had fun today after doing it. I want to bring on Matt Hartford. What's up, Mr. Piston Ring?
Matt. What are you guys doing?
We're
bullshitting about racing. That's what we do here.
Yeah, it's about Pro Mod or something like that, right? Like Pro Stock.
We love all race cars. I like dirt bikes. I like motocross.
I like it when it's Pro Stock o'clock. That's why I was excited for this show, because now they can't just like breeze past Pro Stock.
Yeah, that would I don't know about you guys, but definitely Monday was a little bit different than Indy than I expected. Having essentially first round, you ended up with a 1-lane racetrack, and it kind of stayed that way. we had lane choice 4 rounds in a row, took the right lane 4 times in a row.
Didn't expect that.
I've never seen that before.
Right. Normally it's kind of even. You're bouncing around. Whatever's better there. It was never a question when anybody went up there that you were taking the right lane.
I don't know. We rolled up twice in the left lane, and both times we rolled over into the right lane. And Reinhardt, I guess, had some choice words for us. He's like, well, Dallas just made the quickest run in the left lane, and Hartford's pulling over to the right lane. What is he thinking? Well, we were thinking that was the way to win the round. So,
yep. And that's the difference between racing and talking about racing. I got into it, but I got into a little bit of discrepancy with the NHRA tech guy about testing Tuesday. And like I said, you could still see that trail of oil Tuesday after they had rotated on it for hours. And I told him, he said, the fastest funny car won on the left. I said, yeah, but he went faster in the right. So, and nobody can help that when that happens. We all make those mistakes. And I promise you, the crew guy that did that feels terrible. We have done it. My guys have done it. I've done it. It sucks, but it changed the dynamic to a Monday that I've never seen at the U.S. Nationals.
It honestly, with gear oil, it's the first time that I've seen a cleanup done where they didn't go out there and use lacquer thinner on it first, or use some sort of solvent to get it up before they put all the powder down. But once they did that, it oiled the track. And I had a pair of sneakers I dumped gear oil on a couple weeks ago, and I've tried to get the gear oil out for a few weeks. Amber finally said, "What are you going to do with these?" And I said, "Throw them in the trash." You're not getting gear oil out that easy. So it's just one of those things. It's a mess.
So a lot of our fans are Pro Mod fans. A lot of our Pro Stock fans. Some people may not know. We got a wine aficionado with you up here, Double C.
Cheers, Matt.
There you go. Cheers. So a lot of folks don't know that you're not a Pro Stock driver during the week. Tell the folks, a lot of people listening, we got 3,800 people in there. Tell them a little bit about Total Seal and the ride that it has been.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think everybody that's watching your show probably knows who Total Seal is, or at least some affiliation with the fact that we make the best piston rings in the world, whether it's an F1 car or it's something going, up into the orbit or out of orbit. We make rings for anything that needs to be sealed. We don't care if it's spark ignited or not. But so, you win a big race, and obviously you guys have all won a lot of big races. Everybody thinks it's just all fun and glamour, and you get the photos. Let me tell you, at 12:30 at night, we were finally getting back to our room, got to bed a little after 1, had to be up just after 4 to catch a flight home. Got back in, and it was 3 hours difference when you get to, because we're on West Coast time right now. We're Arizona. We don't have daylight savings time. No reason to save any sunshine here. So we do not have it. I was in the office by 9 a.m. and, we got about just over 60 employees. My shipping manager was on vacation. Our backup shipping clerk called in sick. My VP of operations is on vacation. And they're the only three that know anything about how our shipping works. So starting at 9:30 till 4:30 yesterday, I got promoted from janitor to shipping clerk. And that's all I did was stand in front of the shipping computer and ship every single order that went out yesterday. So if anybody's stuff got screwed up, it was me.
So if you have a 5-inch bore piston and you get a 2175 this week, it's Matt.
Yep.
So when they say like after you win a big race and the Super Bowl or whatnot, they're like, "What are you gonna do?" You're gonna go ship pistons.
Gonna go to work.
I did, and that's what we do. But I think most people can relate to that. I'm not the guy who flies in and has the white fire suit and sits up in the lounge. Whether it's setting up the awning, working on the car, changing a rear end, tearing down the awning. Everybody on our crew is the same way. We all have day jobs. Eddie has a job. Adam has a job. Chris has a job. We all work through the entire week. So we get home, we go straight to work. Our car right now is sitting upstairs in the trailer, filthy, at Jerry Haas race cars, because my truck driver is Jerry Haas. So my truck stays in St. Louis. The car does not get unloaded. It will show up at Reading, and we will unload it and we'll prep it for Reading. The same way it went from Brainerd to Indy. We're not the typical racer. We don't have what Courtney's used to seeing in hers, where they have the Taj Mahal of 19 cars ready to go with 50.
Where they have,
to be fair, we didn't.
Where they have heated marble tile in the hospitality area and a butler.
We did not when I first started, but we do now.
So that's a awesome description of being a gritty racer. And a lot of folks think, even down in pro mod land, that's what it's like, and it's not. If you guys knew what I was doing today here at the shop, it's crazy. So it's good to see on a professional level that it's still like that a lot at the top.
I got a question for him, Stevie, if I want to cut you off. I feel like I can step on their toes when we have a Pro Stock guest here, but everybody talks about KB, Elite, Greg, Erica, these people, this and that. But even on our show last week when we had this and we were talking about who was going to win, I feel like, and I don't know why, but I feel like you're this dark horse that we always know is going to be there. I don't know what the fans think. I don't know what anybody thinks, but we all are very aware of your presence and of your ability to do what you did. But your dominance this weekend, you've won a race here and there, been semis, finals, always in the mix. But what was different about this weekend? That it was just from the time you guys pulled in to not when you laid the hammer down Friday night, you never let up on the rest of us, and you guys were just completely dominant. So was it just Indy magic? What was going on?
Listen, if you could see the runs that I've made and how poorly I've driven through the last multiple races, you would understand. I'm just pissed. I'm over it. I'm over driving horrible. I'm going to make mistakes, but I have made so many mistakes this year. I've left so many round wins on the table. And I said it in the media center. We have the best car right now, bar none. I will argue with anybody about it. However, the point leader is Dallas. Dallas is, no offense, Courtney, Dallas is the best driver out there right now, bar none. He makes.
Listen, you don't need any offense to me of any that this is Courtney tonight. I'm not Erica's sister.
Your last name's still similar. So, but Dallas is the best driver, and the reason that I can say that is the points show. I mean, he goes into Indy with almost 30 round wins and maybe 6 or 7 losses in rounds. I mean, he's been dominant. He makes less mistakes than other people. That's what makes a good driver. I have struggled, and I've been struggling, and I went to Indy. And I got a really good pep talk before I went to Indy by someone who's won Indy before. He's been around. He won Indy. He was at Indy before I was even born. And he basically explain to me about clearing my head. And I listened, and it was not a fun conversation for me. And Eddie and Adam and KI and Amber, when the 5 of us get together and we have a setup in the car, we're coming for you.
Yep.
We're not KB. We're not Elite. We're not McGahey. We are Matt Hartford with the team that we have built together with the 5 of us who's been together for, 10 plus years. So our alliance is to us, and we're focused on winning 24 more rounds this year.
I love it. Listen, like I said, we freaking see you, we hear you, we smell you.
And we don't, you'll notice we don't leave our camp. We stay inside of our ropes. Even when we were renting from Richard, we don't come out of our ropes. We don't go socialize with anybody. We're the first ones out of there at night. And we get there in the morning. We try to stay at hotels where other people aren't staying. It's not that we don't like being around, but the noise is a distraction. And we feel the more that we socialize and the more that we're talking about stuff, the more that we're either going to hear what another team is doing and think, oh, we should try that, or we're gonna say something and they're going to try it. So we just basically, lock ourselves in our trailer and focus on our own team.
And what you said right there, I know Lyle's got a question, but you just said something I got to address. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to hear what you just said. I tell my guys all the time, when you're at the bar, don't talk about my race car, because even if you're saying something that means absolutely nothing, that everybody with common sense knows, you may just be teaching your competitor what not to try. Like, man, you remember when we tried those tires, blah, 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 compound, and those things sucked? Well, they can check that off the list. It took me 10 days at the racetrack and $30,000 to learn that. I need them to go spend 10 days and $30,000 at the racetrack and learn that.
That's right.
So I appreciate hearing that. That's refreshing. Go ahead, Lyle.
Matt, congratulations, first of all. That was a big day, and you didn't make many mistakes on Monday, or at least from what we saw. Now you went and looked at some data. You may could chalk me up 5 or 6, but it looked good from here, so we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, don't look at the final round with my burnout. You'll definitely say I made some mistakes.
But I've raced with you and around you the past couple of years, and just from somebody who I was obviously very heavily involved with the elite camp and an elite fan, and from the outside looking in, I don't want to call you an underdog. A black horse is a good one, but not somebody who you saw late in the rounds much. Whenever I was watching the past couple of years, you ran decent here and there, but this year you and both Derek Kramer, both of you, have ran exceptionally well. And like I've been impressed. And I asked my dad earlier in the year, like, where the fuck is Matt Hartford coming from? That dude is running well. And my question for you in regards to all of that is, what has changed? What in the off season, which is, we all know that's where we make the big gains. There's a lot of work done. What changed for you? The Kramer camp, maybe you don't know as much about what they did, but you in particular, what have you guys changed? What has brought your program around, and something, a crew and a team and a driver that someone fears sitting in the other lane this year?
I think the easiest answer to that, and this is going to upset some people and maybe not others.
Yeah, fuck it.
Is that over the winter, Greg Anderson went to work to make all of his engines the same. There is no pecking order at KB. There is, whatever I got, you can have it. I don't care. I want you to win as bad as I want to win. And when we line up there, may the best crew chief and the best tuner win, but you're going to have the same power I have. And he proved that to me, and he should have proved it to the world in Bristol. We had a little issue on Friday in Bristol. I wasn't happy with how things were going. He literally had Kim drive up a manifold and a camshaft from the shop. We put it in the car Saturday morning for Q3. And Reinhardt's like, when was the last time anybody changed a cam in a Pro Stock motor in qualifying? And we sucked in Bristol. We were horrible because we started with a brand new combination. But he said to me, he says, Matt, this is better. And I put it in. I put the manifold on. We lost first round in Bristol. But what we learned in Q3, Q4, and E1 We went to Norwalk, qualified number 1, and won the race. We were dominant there. And that just shows you how much Greg, he could have just said, oh, you got the best stuff I had. He didn't do that. He says, I want to see you improve. I know, I see what you're seeing. I agree with you. I can make it better for you, but you need to go test. I said, I don't have the time, and 2, I don't have the budget to go test. I have to do it during a race. He goes, you're giving up some runs. I said, I know, let's go. And to me, why have we improved this year? Because the engine shop is providing us and another similar scenario, Kramer. Michael Heiner does the tuning and does the setup in the car. They're a lease customer. They're not a KB. They're not a KB team. They're a lease customer. We have the same power that Dallas has, Kyle has, Eric Latino has, Greg has. We all have the same power. That does not happen in pro stock. I'm sorry. It's never happened, but it does today. That's
badass.
There you go.
And there you go. And I can tell you from hearing that also, when I have customers that run my engines, I've always made sure my best stuff went to my customer. Because as a business, I don't do well if the customer doesn't run good. And
that's right.
I would rather, when we're running Jim's car, I wanted Jim to have the best blower, the best engine we got, and that's what sells motors. So that's badass.
And it does. And like I said, that's going to piss off some people that I say it that way. But that's the truth. I mean, we have equal power to everybody under the KB Titan umbrella. So when we got to race Camry, or we got to race Greg, or we got to race Kyle, Dallas, it doesn't matter. Whoever does the better job with the power management, the car setup, and the overall tuning, and then obviously you got to put a driver in the car that can perform, should win the round. I've never seen that before until I got here.
How much of you got a question? You like you're chomping at the bit.
Go for it.
Okay.
I do.
Now let me say this, and then I'll let you go. How much of your effort in pro stock, because I know in pro modified it's varied. Some teams spend 80% of their resources on power and 20% on management. Some teams can't do that, so it's 50% on power and 50% on application. How much of your focus on a pro stock team goes to power?
Whatever they roll over is what we have. I was talking to Greg today, or texting back and forth. Our engine went back. I wanted him to look at it before we go into the countdown. I want to make sure that we have the best possible engine going into Reading. Now, you would say, why would you take it out of the car after the way you just ran it? And it only had a few runs on it. I want to make sure that the mechanical part of the engine is as good as it can be. After that, honestly, our focus, I would say, is evenly distributed across the entire car. We're focused on how well the engine, accelerates up through low gear. We're worried about how it runs in high gear. But then, we're worried about our clutch management. We're worried about, gear ratio, tire selection, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think it's evenly. I think everything's a combination. And if you just try to focus on one thing, you don't focus on another. And I think that holds you back. So being a lease customer, if I know that I have equal power to the guy that I'm running against, within the camp, that's as much as I'm going to focus my energy on it.
Badass.
So you mentioned the burnout, and I'm going to spin this positively. I feel like when something like that happens, like I don't care who you are. I don't care how many times you've gone, let the clutch out. I don't care how many indies you've gone to. That's the finals at Indy. Like it doesn't matter how calm, cool, and collected you are. And I think you are one of the most calm, cool, and collected guys on the starting line in pro stock. And that's how I'm going to transition to this is you're like freaking ice up there. I say this with all due respect. You and I have a very decent rapport, I feel like. Like we joke around, people say what they say, but you and I have always had a very good rapport. And I love your mentality on the starting line. I think we could use more of it. The whole sport could use more of it. Pro stock especially could use more of it. The burn downs, the quickness, the whatever it is, there's something about you. And I'm saying this as somebody who is a I'm not a competitor of you, everybody in the comments. I know I'm not in the car. We know I'm not a driver, blah, blah. But I live my life as a competitor of you. But I think that's the coolest part of you. So like even if other people don't play into it, people call it playing games. I don't. I just think it's intense and cool. And I think that defense is a big part of other sports that we forget in drag racing, that, it's a big deal on the starting line in pro stock. So what is it that makes you able to just kind of lean into those moments and allow those burn downs and allow those situations and come out on the good end of them?
Brainerd, I did not come out on the good end of it. Let's be clear.
You did not. Every fan of Pro Stock won that day because that was the coolest freaking moment of the day.
It was badass. I was jumping up and down. I'm like, give it to him.
Like you usually do, Matt. Like people can't fuck with you up there. Like they expect you to almost, is he going to do something? Is he not? And whether you do or not, it's like, you're just calm, cool, and collected. And they know they know you're available.
Listen, in Brainerd, I was not going in. Once I realized Aaron wasn't going in, I wasn't going in. I had already made up my mind. I am sitting there until it runs out of fuel. And the problem is the idiot that runs the keyboard on the engine tune-up. Wait, that's me. I didn't have a good fuel map for when the engine got that hot, and the engine started surging really bad. So now I'm at a point thinking, I got a dominant car. My engine is surging at 1,000 RPM up and down. Is it going to just shut off on me? What's going to happen here? So I start thinking about everything. So now I'm like, well, shit, I better stage before I end up just losing the race just for a dumb reason. And of course, I'm trying to stage a car with it surging. It sounded like one of Stevie's blower
You could
cars.
hear it. It was like, I thought you were doing that on purpose at first.
Me too.
No.
I thought it too. I thought it sounded like Bigfoot over there. I thought you were hossing the gas at him, and I was like, he's hossing it at him.
No, it was doing it, and I was so mad. I was not happy. The problem is, you guys have driven. When you start thinking, you quit reacting.
For sure.
Yeah. So I started thinking about everything, and I thought I had to go in, and then I was 50 something on the tree, and he was 20 or 30, I don't know. But it was a lesson learned to me that I had the dominant car, and I got played, and that won't happen again. If I will make sure, trust me, I've already worked on that car.
You've already heated the engine up. Did you heat the engine up to 200 degrees and work on the fuel map?
We are good now. That's all.
My man.
Brandon was cool, yes, but I'm not even talking about that. Like, I feel like, you don't take this in any offense when I say this, but like, we all know you're the guy that will do some shit like that, and we need to be on our toes on the starting line with you. So why are you that guy? I love it, but what makes it?
How many times does your sister ask you, is he going to mess with me up there? And
Yep.
your answer is always like, yep.
And I go tell you right away. I said, she asked if you were going to fuck with her.
Yeah, I'm going to, and I'm going to continue. It's not going to change. And the minute that she thinks that I'm going to hang her out to dry, I'm going to double bulb her next time.
Yep.
Well, wait. As Hinder says, that's her new name, double bulb.
Double is what Derek calls her.
Yeah.
But like, when was that? Like, what happened? How did that become part of your game? Is my question.
It's not a game.
I agree with that. But how did it become a part of the driver that you are?
Because I've watched people for years, and I've never had any money. I've never had good power. I've struggled to qualify forever, and the only way that you can win is find an advantage.
Do what you gotta do.
That's an advantage I had. I don't care if I sit there. My leg is fine. I can hold the clutch pedal down. Some people they feel like they have to go in first. I mean, look at Camry. She feels she has to have both bulbs on before you even get your first bulb barely on. She does it every single time.
Yep.
So you're always you're ready for that. And the one race that I had to race her, and I don't know what round it was, I did the exact same thing to her. And of course, Conley, knowing what I was doing, he made her sit there for about 10 minutes before she went in. I don't know what race it was. And it didn't work out for him. But that
was pretty cool too.
But you watch, it was, but you watch drivers and they all have a pattern. And so this last weekend, if you notice, I tried to go in first. I even tried to go in. I think I went in first against Erica. I'm not sure, but I tried to. I'm getting older. It takes a while.
You did, yeah. But it's cool because it's so many of these cool stories that we have happened that, like you said, Is he going to hang her out? Is he going to double? Like, there's no telling. You are the one without a system, and that is what that's what makes me a Matt Hartford fan, to be honest with you.
All right, if there's this much animosity in pro stock, I have to get a pro stock car. I thought y'all just all hung out and played golf together.
I got a weak ass leg. We can work on that.
Yeah, we can play shit on the starting line forever. I might not get to drive the son bitch at all, but I can have the fun.
Matt
says Steve, you got to. You don't let go of a button here. You got to actually let go of a clutch.
I know, and that's badass. Hey, I want all cars to have clutches. If Stevie Jackson works the tech department in HRA, every car will have a clutch.
Yeah. Matt said, he said a couple times, it's not a game. It's not a game, and I understand what he's saying, but I'm a firm believer in don't hate the player, hate the game. And I think that I consider myself being able to go to the starting line and handle any type of situation and play the game. I do consider it going up there and being able to play the mind game. And I've always prided myself on being able to do that. If you want to sit there for a minute, I'm good with that. If we want to double bulb each other, I'm good with that too. I'll make you back up, whatever, but there is a huge advantage. And I do think you're one of the best to do it, to be able to go up there and play the game, and I know you don't consider it that. That's just what I've always called it. But there is and people know that. And I think it's just as valuable to you as a driver that people know how good you are at it. And they're already worried about it. And when they're already worried about it, you can either play it or not. You've already won that battle. You know what I mean? Like you can go up there and just not play it at all. Right. I'm gonna go up there and just stage like normal, but they're expecting it. And it may be more of a surprise. Exactly. It may be more of a surprise that you go up there and don't do it than it is if you do, and you have a huge, and that you've been doing this longer than I have.
Courtney, you know this because you're in the inner circle of your sister. What did she expect me to do in the semis? Now that it's all over.
Honestly,
boy, we're about to get the crystal ball out.
Go.
All right, it's over with. We want to pull the veil back.
And I tell you again, if she's watching this, she may be mad, whatever. But you and I again have a rapport. And I'm like, she asked if you were going to fuck with her, and I never ask you straight up. And it's just one of those things when Matt Hartford comes to the starting line, you just got to pay attention. This was one of the only times where she didn't ask me nothing. I'm sitting there in the car with her, and I said, "You ready for him?" She said, "Yep." And that was the only thing that we talked about you for that run, because I'll be honest. Losing lane choice by 1,000, given the day, was more of an issue than anything that she could do there. Because like you said, some drivers like to go in first, this and that. She used to have a really strict system that she did. In the last 4 or 5 years, she doesn't care. She'll just kind of read the situation up there, go in, think about it for a second. But I don't think she doesn't play any games, but she's not one that's going to completely rattle. You may catch her off guard every once in a while, but it's not like, shit, she didn't go in first, we're screwed, So it was a different avenue of pressure this weekend, given especially that we lost it by 1,000. Because when we were up at the top end and you come behind us, she's like, fuck, 1,000, are you kidding? And that was lane choice was a really big deal this weekend. It was a really big deal.
Did you see me get out of my car after second round, how pissed off I was? I mean, I won the round. I was pissed because in my mind, I lost lane choice and I was first pair out going into the semis. And I knew that was going to be a huge disadvantage. And I walked over and I asked Amanda, I said, what did everybody else run? And she said, you outran Erica by 1,000. And obviously Fernando went 670 something. And then the other pair, I think, shook.
It was like pedal fast. Yeah.
And I'm like, so wait a minute here. You're telling me I have lane choice and we're second pair, and I'm looking for numbers. My attitude changed instantly. Yeah, because it was like, okay, this is okay. But in the car, as I'm rolling around the shutdown, I was loving the fact the wind light was on, hating the fact that we ran so slow. We should have went 62.
Well, that's what we thought too. When she got out of the car, like, you hadn't even staged yet. And we were like 64.4. Like, there's no way he's not running that, I mean, it was just I said before you got on the show, you might've been in the green room or not, but sometimes these races and something crazy like what happened with Christian first round happens, and how the ladder was going to play out in fate and drag racing world, 100% throw it to the fucking moon, gone. Nothing was the same after that. And I truly believe had that not happened, maybe Greg wouldn't have had an issue, maybe Bo, maybe different things would have happened. I think you still had the car to beat and you still would have been in the mix, but the story of it and Fernando getting to the finals and just it all would have been different. And it gave us a different concentration and motivation through the day. And I think she might have been more worried about what was going to happen on the starting line had that lane issue not been all of our problem.
Listen, that lane issue, what it was an equalizer. What it made is both lanes were not great.
Yeah, because it was a 200 advantage before that.
Absolutely.
All day, everywhere. Yep.
Had that not happened and we stayed in the left lane or in anybody in the left lane, let me tell you, it was going to be right now. By that oil down, it created parity in both lanes. Which
those first two pair that went down didn't make it an inch.
I feel bad for Greg. I mean, he was the biggest loser in the deal. I mean, he was, but he chose to bring out a brand new car at Indy. He didn't qualify well. He qualified number 1 in Brainerd and qualified 12 here. If you qualify in the bottom half, you're getting a good
second
car.
or third out.
Yeah, and you're getting a good car that you got to race. It didn't work in his favor. Had that not happened, I think it's a whole different scenario.
Yep.
But listen, we all go up there with the same mentality, and at the end of the day, it's look. I had 4 win lights come on. I don't really care.
So
That's the answer today, right there.
So is this correct that I heard this? And I'm sorry for not memorizing your stats, Matthew Hartford. Was this the first year that you've won 2 races by this point?
Yes, I won a race in 18. I don't know if you remember that, but I beat Erica Enders.
I remember that
in Houston.
I remember that. That one.
I didn't know if you remembered that. I went 652 even.
Thank you so much, Matt.
No, so I won in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and this is the second time I've won in 23.
So it was 1 a season until now.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Going into the countdown, that right there alone has to be something that's elevating you guys. This is a different kind of season for Matt Hartford Racing.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like you're ready to go race for a championship?
24 win lights coming up. Let's go. I'm not saying that we can turn them all on, but we're going out there focused that we can. Right. We're going into Reading. It looks like it's going to be in the low 70s.
Oh God, I want to race in Reading.
Lock them down and let's go.
So the countdown resets, right? I know we had a dominant leader. Dallas has been there, but now that we're all reset, correct me if I'm wrong here, Matt. I truly believe there's 6-8 people that are in the freaking mix.
Oh, there are. I mean, look, Dallas is he's been as good as it gets all year. Erica, I'm 25 points behind him. Erica's 7 behind me. I think then TJ and then Derek.
Yeah.
Then Greg. Look, it takes one bad race and whoever's 10th can be in first. So there is no.
Reading is huge.
It doesn't matter. Look, the elite camp has great cars. The KB camp has great cars. I think that we have a great team. I think that Kramer has a great team. Are we nervous? No.
It's exciting. I think it's exciting.
We're focused on what do we need to do to go qualify well, try to qualify at the top, try to get bonus points every run, and try to get big points on Sundays. That's all we're looking for.
You couldn't fit a 10-penny nail in my ass. I'd be so fucking nervous. Ain't no way I could hold the clutch down. That thing.
You could. Shut up, Lyle.
Fucking foot be coming on and off. Fuck, I'd be nervous as shit.
So out of all the classes that you could race and out of everywhere you could race, what makes you a pro stock racer? What makes you choose pro stock?
It is the absolute positively hardest and most competitive racing in NHRA. There's not a car out there that takes more delicate tuning to run what they do, run over run. And I'm not taking anything away from Top Fuel, Funny Car, Pro Mod. That's all power management. We have a given amount of power. You have to take and get every ounce of that power out of it and apply it to the ground in every gear with a clutch, not an automatic, not stomping, just on a throttle pedal or let go of a button. Nothing wrong with that type of racing. But when you have to do all of that, let the clutch out and shift 4 times and not miss it by 50 RPM, Look, Pomona, dominant car. I won the mission in the finals against Dallas, had him covered by 200s. I touched the chip twice, once in second gear, once in third gear. Cost me the race. Cost literally by 10 RPM, 15 RPM, cost me the race. It just makes you have to have focus. And to me, I want to race where it's the hardest.
I like that, and I agree with that. You guys are driving those race cars, and everyone has asked me if I would drive one. Yes, I would, simply because of what you just said. It's so hard. It's so hard to be good at it. I think a lot of people can drive them, but to be good at it, you're going to have to be pretty perfect.
And anybody can drive a pro stock car, but to drive one well,
yeah.
Look, I struggle as much as anybody out there, and I've done this a long time. And I know how hard it is, and I'll never criticize anybody for their driving in any car because it's difficult. The mental focus is extreme, and then just the physical aspect of being in 100-degree ambient air temperature with 70% humidity in a fire suit, sitting in that thing and trying to have to focus on everything that you're doing down the track. Not that every class doesn't, but you can't miss it by 100 RPM low or 10 RPM high, or you're going to run 64 instead of 62.
And in a lot of classes, that's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is. You know what I'm saying? You're like, oh man, I slid her around. My crew chiefs have always told me I really focus on keeping the car in the middle of the track, because if we drive them around, it slows them down 200s, 200s. But like if you guys drove them around, it would slow them down like 400s.
You drive them around,
the more you drive them around.
Yeah, there's no clean run. Get out of here.
The more you drive them around, the more it slows them down.
Yeah, no, you guys in Pro Mod, I mean, you guys are wall to center line every run, and I'm just you got enough.
Did you get in one of those things?
No, absolutely not.
Me fucking neither, man.
Never.
Nope. Man.
Nope.
Nope.
I brush my teeth in the morning with Jack Daniels and drive blown alcohol.
Well, and Matt and I drink good wine in the evening next to a campfire, and we're just fine.
Matt,
Go ahead, Lyle.
We'll strap you right in that twin turbo car.
Nope.
Don't do that. You definitely don't want to do that. You'll lose all your manhood. Your testicles will undescend into your body.
Okay.
It'd be like Lyle shaving his
The
beard off.
parental advisory warning is up, and I will debunk that one if you would like.
Hey, don't forget, in the early 2000s, in a 202 cubic inch twin turbo V6 in a Cavalier, I went 652 at 216.
Okay.
So think about it. That's a little tiny engine with hair dryers on it. I ran turbo cars for 6 years back then.
Right.
I've been around all that stuff, and I'm not doing it in
Also, Matt Hartford don't have shit to prove. Matt Hartford does what Matt Hartford does.
Tell us a couple, because I know some of this, but I know it will blow a lot of people's minds. Tell us some of the weird things about pro stock, either cars or engines, people don't know. Like, I've heard rumor of the valve spring bill, if you don't run your own engine program a year. What's some of the weird stuff about pro stock racing people might not know? I know I've seen you guys carry 90 sets of tires around. And
so let's just go back to talking about the other camps. They have all these other teams have these beautiful shops and full-time crews working on everything. And look, I told you my truck and trailer stays at Jerry Haas' shop, and it goes from race to race to race. We have 18 sets of wheels and tires upstairs.
18. All right, for y'all, for those of you who don't know, those things are about $5,600 a set now or something.
Well, so we only have 10 sets of wheels, but we have 18 sets of tires. So 10 of them are mounted. 9 or 10, right. I'm not sure. But
we have a nice house upstairs.
It is, we have to carry everything in our trailer. So it doesn't matter what it is. That's something about pro stock, the way we race, that's different from everybody else. If we're going to need it, we take it with us. There is no shop that anything stays at. I would love to have a shop where everything can come out and everybody cleans everything, and it's not the crew chief or the crew or the driver having to scrub the car in between, at the next race. But what's different about pro stock is right now, anybody can get into it and do it almost at the same cost level for a few races as you can run in some of these top sportsman cars. And I'm going to throw a compliment now to Richard. He's done a great job of providing a bring your helmet and come race with us. He's done it better than anybody. He drugged me back into pro stock when I had quit, and we won with his stuff. We won with his engine. It was our own stuff, but we won with in 18. We won with his engine. Right now, if you've ever wanted to race pro stock, today is the time to do it. Go rent a ride for 3 races and see what you think of it. You're going to spend some money, but if you've ever wanted to do it, this is a time you can do it.
Since you said that, do you have a price range of what it would cost just to go, or you don't want to talk about it? Like if I just wanted to go and get in one for 3 races,
I don't know, because we don't do that. We lease engines. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to run at the front by doing that you can. There's been people win championships doing it that way, but I don't know what the number is, but I can tell you it's the most affordable it's ever been. 2000, I think in 2000 or 2001, Steve Schmidt qualified 5 cars at Indy with 1 engine, and he was getting $50,000 a run for the engine.
So, it ain't that.
Yeah, it is. So that's what I'm saying. If you wanted to rent an engine from him, he'd give it to you to qualify, and it was $50,000 to put the engine in your car. And he qualified five cars with 1 engine.
That's pretty awesome.
Now they have the
seat. See, I would be blown up. I would be no customers. No, he did. They pulled it out, right?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So once an engine's in your car, it can't go in any other car during that event. That's the Steve Schmidt rule. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
We can't do that in Pro Mod because I've blown mine up every run, so it won't run anymore.
I got to tell you something, Stevie, and I said this to one of the other fuel guys the other day. The very first text message on my phone after we won was from your daddy, Phil Schuler.
Your daddy.
How was it?
Yes, very first one.
That's awesome. When you won in 18, I think if I wasn't the first one to send you a message, I was pretty damn close. I was on it. Yeah, old Phil Billy. Everybody thinks Phil Schuler is a hard ass and a dickhead because he is a hard ass and a dickhead, but he's got a good heart.
Yeah, he does.
Phil Billy.
Your daddy. That's your daddy.
If he was my daddy, I wish he'd come back and race with me.
Come back and be my daddy.
Come home, Dad. I could tell he was in the shop yesterday and dropped some stuff off. And I called him. I said, "What are you doing at the shop?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just dropping off your seat and search stuff." I said, "You want to stay and work a little while?" He's like,
"Matt, I gotta ask you, because I feel like we're getting to the end of your journey. But when you started this year with what I just asked you about the first time you won 2 races in a season, I know you're an aggressive competitor. I know you want to rip throats out. But what was your goal at the beginning of this year? Like, did you guys have a standard that you wanted to meet that meant a successful year to you, or is that just championship or bust?
Championship. It's not even. We've never second guessed it. We're here to dethrone both the 5-time champions. I know. Listen, I've heard all the bullshit for the last few days. I've been just flogged with it about what people think. And look, I don't. All that's noise to me. We're here to make sure that we're the ones wearing the white hat at the end of the year. That's our only focus.
I love it. I love it. I feel like
I love that.
I do too, especially like I said, coming in, and I know you guys, and I know we've known it, and everyone else involved has known it, that you've always been a threat to it. And so I'm just was happy to hear that. But then you hear some people when you ask that question, are like, oh, our original goal was top 5, or we wanted to win 3 races or whatever. Fuck that, huh?
I said at the beginning of the year, I don't care if we win a race. I just want to wear the white hat at the end of the year.
Yeah,
that's Billy Stocklin right there. That's Billy Stocklin mentality. He's told me a million times, I don't care how, I just want to keep getting white slips. Just want to keep getting the white slips. Don't want the yellow slip, white slip.
I love it. And people, you say, no offense to it. People I'm wearing a shirt. I don't do it every week, but I live where I live because my blood is my blood and my heart is my heart. But I love pro stock racing so much, and I am so proud of it because of the competition that we have. And I agree with what you said earlier about our class and what it takes and what makes it different. And I get off on the unsustainability of like who's on the throne and whatnot. It's been kind of back and forth, whatnot, but it could have easily gone any other way. You know, I feel like winning Reading last year was that, but it excites me. Going into this part of the season excites me, and people can say I'm full of shit because America's sister. Of course I'm going to love if she wins. But if anybody's ever watched me or known me, especially since getting into this flow stuff and seeing a different side of the racing, I am so pumped. I'm more pumped to watch pro stock racing and how this turns out than any other class that's going on. And I think no matter how it goes, it's going to be freaking savage and it's going to be cool. And I'm excited to see what you do on your way there, man.
Well, I would prefer that if Erica wasn't getting better right now. I mean,
well, 6 races ago we were 15th. Well, I didn't think we almost didn't make the countdown.
No, you went to it's a participation trophy to make the countdown. So
but it was going to be ugly, and now we're sitting third. And so I feel like that's decent, but holy shit, we were not expecting that.
Yeah, you guys, why don't you guys just go to the Bahamas or to the?
No, we're done vacation.
Take a few weeks off. No need to come to Reading or Charlotte. It's easy.
No. Listen, no, we're done with that. We took Erica to Greece a few weeks ago. We're done with that. We're going. But either way, I am, no matter how much I scream on the start line, get excited. I loved watching Amber. Like, I didn't have a dog in the fight. Amber and I have bonded in that sense. I didn't have a dog in the fight, except for the fact that I do support the Quadras. They are a part of our camp. But when it's not Erica up there, like, I like good racing, you know? And hearing her and watching her tickled me, because being on the starting line and winning Indy, I don't give a shit how calm and cool and collected. I saw her post today. You were in the car, Mr. Cool Guy, Mr. Ice for Veins, whatever. That bitch lost her mind, and it was cool to watch.
I've never seen anybody have so much fun on the starting line.
She's awesome.
Like, I was like, I want to be on the starting line.
And that's fun. And that's what I tell Erica and all these other people, like, and people that give me shit for being that away. Like, we're in this cool little snow globe here, and we get to do things and experience things and feel things that normal people don't. And if you don't do that when you want to, if that's not your personality, by all means, but if that's what you feel, jump, scream, girl. I support it. Get on.
Yeah, I seen a video from camera 6, the one in the sand trap, of it looked like about the time I put it, maybe just coming out of second gear, going into third gear. She's about 5 feet in the air.
Leg wrap around everybody.
No, I'm talking as we're going down the track. She's jumping up and down, and she's going like this. And then I think I'm at the 1,000 foot, and she's already up on top of KI. She's hugged right around them, and
it was cool. I will say, again, people can say whatever. I'm not full of shit, because that's me. That's the view I get. Y'all don't get that view, and I feel bad for y'all, because I know you're the cool guy in the car and you get to do all that, but you're alone. And we get to be there with the camaraderie of that moment of that. As soon as that light comes up on the beacon, it's freaking believable. And I did enjoy. I kind of stood there with a smirk on my face and watched her lose her mind.
Well, I mean, your camp over there, I think, had 596 people behind his car, and we had 5.
Yeah,
it did look disproportionate. I will say
always
that.
Does, though, because
it looked like
many people.
It looked like there was a high school graduation going on behind their car
every time.
And Matt's got a clutch guy and somebody that plugged the battery charger in back there.
Yeah,
listen, go ahead.
We had a points meet. We had typical points meet on our side, and they had ducks race on their side.
We did.
No shit.
Say what you want about it, though, but it is cool. The organization we built, every final round, we don't have to ask those people to get up there. Everybody stops what they're doing. We come up there, and that's just, I feel like we're kind of the new Coletta Mosh Pit situation, and I think it's cool.
So one of the hardest things that I did, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I agree with that. And, I will say that, Greg Anderson and Brian Fleck and Jeff and DJ, Nate, they were all up there.
Yeah.
Tom Conley was up there. They were all up there supporting us. They want their engine to win. Would they have preferred it was their car? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, they were all real happy that something that they put their blood, sweat, and tears in won the race. And, it's good. And I think it should be that way no matter which team you're on.
Yep.
For sure. One of the hardest things that I did after winning Indy was show up focused at the next race. It's hard. It's a lot of hype, and then you don't have a lot of time to get over it. How do you show up with your head in the game?
Well, if I could quit doing these type of interviews, I got one more tomorrow. I got work to do at Total Seal. I don't have time to focus on race cars.
No, sir. This is what happens when you win Indy. You got to deal with it.
Right. You owe the people.
Yeah.
Like, you owe all of us.
At least you get to drink on our show.
Right.
Just leave that son of a bitch in a trailer for the next 2 weeks and roll it
You
out there.
drink on any show.
On our show, you can
Dust the champagne off.
You can cuss and yell and talk about anybody. We like it.
Well, look, I got work to do over the next week before I leave for Reading. To me, Indy's in the past. I will always have it. My name's written down. Our team won Indy. I didn't win Indy. Our team won Indy. It's if it wasn't for Eddie and Ki and Adam and Amber and myself and Jerry Haas, we don't win Indy. So our team won Indy. But we're not going to win Indy tomorrow. The only thing we can focus on is Reading. So why even talk about Indy really, other than it was cool? The next thing we need to do is really focus on how do we win this championship?
I just kind of went through the questions here, and I got to ask you this because I know you're real. Who's your favorite person to beat in pro stock?
Oh, I mean, that goes without saying. I mean, it's got to be the person that's self-proclaimed the best one out there.
Wait, when you hang up this
yes.
When we're fucking done here, we're gonna
now the F-bombs are flying around.
I'm gonna go get another beer.
That was at Amanda, not y'all.
I'm just saying.
One White Claw and Courtney's unhinged over there.
I've had 2. This is why I've been pumped about Matt coming on.
I don't mix a lot of words. I'm going to tell you the truth. You may not like it. I don't.
That's what I like about
it. Don't. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth of how I feel. I hate racing Erica, but I love racing Erica because when you beat her, there's 2 things that there's 2 ways to win a race. You can leave on them or you can outrun them. You typically with Erica cannot do both. And I want her to remember that going into Reading, we left on her and outran her.
You sure did.
And because it's been the opposite way many times, and it's been half many times. That was a statement from our team to her. We're here to dethrone you.
Oh, we heard it. But also, we coming.
Steve, I'm baiting her here.
Just
listen. I've
seen the Geico thing with the $1 and a fishing pole. Yeah. Almost got it.
I almost had a drink before the show because I got done working and I went to the gym much earlier today. And I thought, today ain't the day, Courtney. Today ain't the day to show up too deep. But again, with all this nonsense, I think you and I can sit here and banter because we have kind of the same personality of that. But at the end of the day, like when we're walking through the staging lanes and you're about to get in the car and race my sister, what are we doing? Be safe. Good luck.
Yeah,
have a good time. You know what I mean? So it's fun. And I know you guys probably get it too, but the social stuff, it's like people hate our competitors more than we do. And it's crazy. And they don't understand that when we get up there, yes, it is battle, but also at the end of the day, what's happened with pro stock in the last 3 to 5 years, we all had to come together to make this happen and make decisions to work as a team. And I feel like the camaraderie has gained and the rivalries are there, but they're not as hateful and they're not as aggressive as they used to be because we came together to build this class, but we still want to rip throats. Don't play.
Go back last year. I mean, I don't remember what the race was, but I remember Eric and I got into a little issue on the starting line. And at the end of the day, she won the round. And
I remember that.
Your team was trying to legitimately fight me at the top end. And I kept explaining to a gentleman on your team that if he couldn't afford a rule book, I would buy him one and he could read what the rules were, that I did nothing wrong. And you guys had won.
Right.
Eric and I were fine.
Y'all were. And I remember her saying we were driving away. She's like, we're good. Sorry.
Yeah, we were fine. We were fine before the crew got down there.
Yeah.
So look, like I said,
the blood pressure stays fucking high.
Hey, Courtney, what's your pulse rate right now? Like I see you twirling that little pin. She's like,
my Apple Watch is dead. It died in the middle of the gym. I have no idea. I'm dead.
This is Courtney. Man, I really like you. I think you're good at what you do.
I love it.
She's planning your demise. Do not drink with her at Reading. Do not take anything she offers you. Do not drink any beverages.
Matt and I have done the zoo together. That
was before today.
Listen,
now you're trying to
This
roofie
is
the
not as
man.
intense as we've been. We're good.
Here's the deal. I'm going to end it with this, so you guys can all, go get some sleep.
No, I got a question first.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Don't forget,
Go ahead.
What?
I'm just going to say that, we're going into the countdown. We're focused. We have a great team. We have phenomenal power. We have all the support behind us from, the chassis shop. Jerry Haas, his entire team is behind us. Greg Anderson, KB Titan, they're behind us. Our team is behind us. Everybody at Total Seal and Getrix and CIP1 and Rob's, Rottler, you go across the thing, they're all behind us. When we get to Dallas, we're going to have the hose connection on the car. We have a lot of good support behind us. Our goal is to come out number one, and that's it. It's we don't care. We don't care what Erica does. We don't care what Chris McGahey does. We don't care what Bo Butner does. I don't care what Dallas does. We're focused on us, no one else.
All right, Matt. So you've rolled through the burnout box. You muff a burnout. You bang it off the limiter in every gear. You lose by 300ths and you turn off the racetrack. Only because we're going to talk about this in a little bit. Your top end interview, whether it's with Amanda or whoever, they immediately start talking to you about all the things that you've just done wrong. How do you handle an interview question like that after it, whether you've lost a round, let's say it's to win the championship? Is it just, well, it wasn't my day, man. I think I'm going to go drink me a bottle of Aquafina, sit back and let Jerry Haas drive my trailer back? Or are you going to be fucking mad about it?
So I'm mad at myself, but I'm not mad at the person who's asking the question, because what the sport needs is to ask those questions and ask them more often. Because guess what? I messed up. If I did all that, I want it. You put on the spot. You're a professional in a professional category. This isn't a sportsman level, meaning you're not talking just a entry level at a Friday night. You're at the top on a live TV show. When Tom Brady lost, they go right up to him and ask him. If you didn't perform, admit you didn't perform. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We are all going to screw up. Right. But to me, answer the question. Don't be mad at the person asking the question, because they should ask it, and they should ask it more.
I think there's also benefit, though, to hear you as a driver say, that I fucked up, and not immediately go thank Castrol and Tampax or whoever else is sponsoring you for that week. I think there's benefit to the people not hearing you immediately go, yeah, man, I didn't drive too good, but I'd really like to thank this Viagra number 6, drove it long and hard. I think there is some benefit to hearing you guys talk about not doing what you should have done and being mad about it and showing some emotion, because I think they've gotten so accustomed to seeing just your typical Sunday afternoon preaching, get through the sermon, amen, and moving on, right? I think there's a lot of people need to see that. They need to see some emotion and maybe some displeasure with the question or whatever. I think that's good for us.
And I do too. And that's why I said I've lost way more than I've ever won. I don't have 100 wins. I don't have 5 championships. I don't have any of that. But what we have is passion for it, and that passion should come through positive or negative, whatever it is. But don't be mad at the question. That's the only advice I could give anybody.
Last question.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Here it is.
Give him. Roll that son of a bitch. Ask it. I know you want to. You've been waiting all day.
Yeah. And I'm not letting any one of you motherfuckers do it.
Don't you manipulate him. He's a strong man. He answers for himself.
You go to a Mexican restaurant. Do you order fajitas?
No.
Congratulations, you have Matt Hartford. That's the only one you've got.
I was just about
you get tacos. You always get tacos.
So loud, but my 1-year-old's asleep over there.
Why would you get fajitas?
Oh, man.
You should never, because
Jesus ate fajitas.
I don't know if you've ever watched our show before.
I never have.
So
listen, I've never spoke one word to Lyle Barnett until tonight.
Oh
no, that's not true.
Now he's hurt.
So Lyle has a sensitive area about fajitas. And
and here's the deal. And here's the deal.
Matt loves. Not Matt. Lyle loves the show of ordering fajitas. He likes it when they bring them out and it's a steaming volcano of greatness.
No, that's what I hate.
Jesus ate fajitas.
Like yeah, exactly. See there. When if they just brought the fajitas out already in the tortillas and rolled up, they taste great, everything's, but it's the presentation. When they come out steaming like Mount Kilimanjaro and everybody in the restaurant leaves smelling
onions on my taco.
Right? Yeah, right. Throw that shit in the trash. But nobody wants to leave smelling like Mexican butthole. And that's what everybody smells like when one person orders steaming hot fajitas in a Mexican restaurant.
Clay Milliken loves fajitas.
Like fire warnings.
I like fajitas. I'm not saying anything bad about fajitas, but if I'm ordering at a Mexican restaurant, and we occasionally go to Mexican, I'm in Arizona, we have Mexican food. I don't know about you guys, where you guys all live, but
Yes.
I'd recommend you probably not eat Mexican wherever you live, unless you're in Arizona or Mexico.
It is better there.
Texas.
Lyle baited that question and specifically asked it to trick you into saying that answer.
So I feel like Matt Hartford's not a hard no because he said he likes fajitas, but
I'm getting tacos.
All right, Lyle, we'll give it to you.
Okay,
You got Matt Hartford.
All right,
Yeah,
you got one.
This one.
Maybe barbacoa.
You too.
Maybe corn.
Tex-Mex in Arizona is great.
Never chicken. I agree. Beef.
No chicken ever in a Mexican. And
red meat
typically come with chicken.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I love it.
All right, so what's next? What's next for Matt Hartford? What are you doing? You're leaving here. You're going back to work this week, right?
No, I'm going down to cook dinner.
Oh yeah, he's on West Coast.
Yeah, it's 6 o'clock here. It's about
dinner.
Enjoy
those Dalmatian dogs. You have the cutest dogs on the planet. I love it.
They have 1 minute till dinner time. I don't feed them, but they eat at 6 o'clock on the dot. And they're
going to be staring at you in 1 minute.
5 minutes ago they start roaming around. Staring.
They know.
Piper, Scarlett, and Tatum. They the two of them are the Terror twins, and then we got Piper. So there was a great social media post I seen today. Getrix did it. And it was Dalmatian Nation. They did a winner of the car with the trophy, and they had the 2 Dalmatians up next to it. I thought it was really cool.
I love it.
I love that too.
I love when a team has kind of something cool like mascot-ish like that, like Clay Milliken's dog too. So I love it. We love dogs.
Yeah, so. Piper's on my passenger window. She's got her head hanging out the window every run.
I love it.
Hell yeah. Anybody you want to shout out to before you go? We really appreciate you coming on. I know that you're busy. I know after these races, it takes a lot to do this, and we appreciate you supporting our show. You got anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I don't know if they even pay attention to this show. Like I said, I've never watched it before. I don't watch TV. I don't listen to any podcasts. I don't watch any of this. But if in fact Greg Anderson is listening, you shouldn't be listening to this. You should be working on my engine. I need good power and I feel ready. That's all I'm going to say.
I'll be in Mooresville tomorrow, so I'll swing through there and make sure they got yours up on the stand.
Just do a Hartford checkup.
I'll let you know.
Somebody posted in the comments earlier that they worked right by Greg Anderson's shop, and they said they have heard him dyno 20 hours in a day before. He said that thing's been humming that long.
Well, he learned it from his dad, EWJ, that if the harder you work, the more successful you can be. So it's he definitely, in my opinion, is the hardest working man in pro stock right now. Sorry for all you other engine builders, but there's only one thing he cares about. It's pro stock. He doesn't take a day off. He doesn't vacation. He hardly even goes home at night. There's not too many people who do that, not at the level that he does. And it's
Kyle motherfucking Bates does.
Did he go to the Caymans with you this year?
No, he goes nowhere. He works. That's it. And he bitches about it, but he does nothing but work.
Yeah, I'll take my chances with Greg on this one. But anyway,
wait. I'm coming to Reading to watch pro stock. They won't let Pro Mods race there, so I'm coming to get him.
It's going to be good, but no, it's my team is phenomenal. We look forward to it. Yeah, we're pretty confident right now, but we can be knocked down just as quick as we can be, put up there at the top. And but if you don't have confidence, why go?
Right, 100%.
100%.
Well, Matt, I'll meet you at the bottom of the throne, and we'll see what happens.
Let's go.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate
Thanks,
you coming
Matt.
on. We've had over 4,000 people on average here watching you, and you've been a big contributor to that. Thank you for being honest.
Yeah.
That's a rare quality in our sport, is people saying what they think.
That's why we knew you would be a good
Right.
fit here.
I appreciate it.
I got a lot of people that don't like me because I'm honest. So
That's okay.
I'll take it.
That's
Hey.
okay.
Me too.
With a white hat late in the year, we'll have you back on. How about that?
There you go. Win that championship. We're coming to Arizona and doing it live.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you, man. We
See you,
appreciate
Matt.
it.
Thanks,
Have a good
buddy.
one. Man, what a great guest.
No white hats.
What a great guest. Okay, now we're about to get the other side. See, you got no balls to talk to.
No,
to
Matt
give it
and
to
I,
him
like
on
I
purpose.
said to Matt there, Matt and I have a very open situation and relationship. We're
Y'all have
very
an
open
open
to each other.
relationship?
Yep.
Okay.
The love and the hatred it flows evenly.
The hatred flows
The
in.
love and the hatred flow in the
That-
same field. I
That
love him, I
dude
respect him,
don't
but
give a fuck.
He does not give a fuck.
That's my kind of folks right there.
Damn.
So while we're on this, and we got to get back to Promod, I feel like now's a good time to segment, because we're already 9 o'clock, into our section that we need to talk about, that we've been waiting to talk about. We'll go ahead and just let you start out on what's going on the top end in pro stock these days.
Can we play
Well,
the video?
We will. We are.
But we're going to get to it. But first, I
Well-
want to know just exactly what is happening on the top end in pro stock.
I think it's not
I
just.
need to know what the fans think. Go ahead.
I don't know what the fans think. All I know is what the drivers think. And we've had a couple of situations in the last 2 years of, again, this is going to come off a certain way because of what I do for my job. These don't have anything to do with each other. So, Steve-O pops off about negative questions. JR pops off about negative questions. This weekend, Erica won first round, was 50 on the tree, and was asked if a 50 was what she wanted to drag out to start the tone for the U.S. Nationals. And Erica hit the chip a little and said some things on air that I feel not everybody would have said. But at the end of the day, like what she said is factual, and what she said she earned. So I don't really know what more to say except just roll that beautiful bean footage.
Let's roll that footage.
You wanted to open up race day. Is there concerns on that going forward? No, I'm not focusing on anything negative, no matter how many times you ask me. This is the U.S. Nationals. I'm the best there is 5 freaking times in a row. So, yeah, we got some work to do, but we got lane choice over Dallas Glenn, and that's going to be crucial today. You know, that was unfortunate what happened with Christian this morning, but lane choice made a difference there. So we're just going to go give everything.
Ricky Bobby, today's big winner. A heck of a win for you today, but it seems as if you either win or crash the car trying to win.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff.
Oh, man. Okay, Matt, thank you for that beautiful bean footage. I just peed in my pants. All right.
To say now that we've seen it. One, Eric Enders is doing her best to give Shake and Bake a little shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Giving her sister a little love. What she said, and I understand why people are taking it the way that they meant it, or the way that they are, because I'm the best there was 5 times. She shouldn't have said in a row. Mad, whatever. Best there was 5 times. Whether you like her or not, when you win a world championship, you are the best. That year, whatnot. Maybe should she have kept that conversation between her and Amanda? I don't know. But I also want to tell you, as somebody who is on the inside and knows her more than anyone on the planet of Earth, your girl's tired of taking shit. Your girl's tired of smudging words. Your girl's tired of just taking shit on the chin. And there's this new era of Erica that started at the end of last year when she taught that I don't even know his name.
On the Shake and Bake show.
The quarter mile guy to eat Cheetos in his garage, and she just doesn't care anymore. And she feels like she's earned the right to pop off when she wants to, say what she wants to. And I feel like we encourage this behavior in our sport everywhere, unless you don't have a penis. And I'm not a feminist. I voted for Trump. I am a hardcore Republican, but it's unfortunately the way it is. And I say we get more of it. And if you have a problem with what's interviewing, we saw an interview last week. Tony Stewart posted on his story. It was awesome. He popped off. It was awesome.
But that's what I said earlier. Like, everybody is tired of seeing everybody thank Wonder Bread, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I'm so thankful for Wonder Bread. I just got my ass whipped, but thank you to Wonder Bread and peanut butter spread. Like, no, dude, we're fucking tired of doing that shit. And at the conclusion of the U.S. Nationals, what is everybody talking about?
That.
Pro stock.
Let me be the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Is or is not the top end reporter's job, or the pit reporter, or whoever, it is their job to tell a story. It's their job to find someone's vulnerable spot and give it to the fans. That's what they get paid to do.
I do not fault Amanda.
I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong.
I don't fault Amanda for it either. And this is, I mean, I do this, and this is what I told Erica. Like, that's my job. I do this not on the cool level of NHRA yet, Pro Superstar Shootout, shout out, but I do it at the PDRA. I do it at Ducks races. Like, but we all do it in a different way. And here's my perspective of it. And I mean no disrespect, because I'm the one sitting on the sideline. I'm the keyboard junkie here when it comes to pit reporters. I have a relationship with these people. I know these drivers. I know what makes them tick. I know their insecurities. I want them to trust me because I'm in their circle. Amanda doesn't give a shit. I was trying not to say the F word. Amanda doesn't give a shit because she's got a good story going. Okay, fine, Lyle. I don't give a fuck. She's got good storylines, and Fox loves her
You're
because
only saying that because your beautiful mom's on here.
Oh, yeah, something like that. It's because I'm talking about flow. I'm trying to be professional, talking about flow. But I do it, and maybe this is why I'm not as good as her or not getting the big gigs that she's getting, because my first priority is making sure that these drivers want to talk to me and that they want to respect me. And I want them to be able to be vulnerable with me and give something. And so I tend to make them speak about the negative things. I'm not going to just do that. Again, that's probably why I'm not as good as her and doing what she's doing. And we all do this in a different way, but she doesn't give a shit. And I think it's aggressive. I think it's cool. I think it works out. But I also think it works out because sometimes you get what you got with Erica. And a little bit of the reason why the people that do it like that do it is to get that. And we all win when that happens. We all win.
Correct. And that's what we can't, as fans, as consumers of motorsports, if you want to see that raw side of us, you're going to see some shit you don't like. And you'll see it from me. You'll see it. You'll see it from anybody. You'll definitely see it from Lyle. So
U.S. Nationals,
you got to realize
emotions are freaking high. And sometimes you say shit that pops off.
So me being the devil's advocate, asking, defending the pit reporter, also, I'm going to do the exact same thing and defend the competitor. Most of you that are on the internet talking shit have never been in that position. You've never sat under that pressure, and you've never went out there and got defeated at your craft. When I get beat in a race car, you don't want to talk to me for about 24 hours.
Yep.
But for 15 minutes, stay out of my head.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I went red against Stevie in Virginia. And I picked my glove.
That's with his Hans device.
My Hans device was on the fence.
Yeah, if you've got a competitor that's okay losing at the U.S. Nationals and they don't get upset about it,
then they don't give a shit.
They don't deserve to be there.
All right. Well, I typed a comment to a dude 2 nights ago that was on. I think it was Amanda's post, and I asked him. I said, clearly, you have not about it was. She made a post about something kind of unrelated, and people
related.
No, God,
I just want to look.
Courtney, just Jesus Christ.
I just want to look.
But and I told the guy, I said, well, clearly you've raced for a U.S. Nationals trophy, and you've been there and you understand. And he immediately came, oh, you fucking dumbass, who the fuck are you? This is social media and I can post what I want to. And well, sure. But unless you've been there, man, Stevie and I have raced U.S. Nationals. We both won it. Stevie's won it twice. I got lucky on 2 fucking red lights last year, but you still can't take it from us. But there is so much pressure there. I've wanted to win that race. I wanted to go to that race since I was little. And the first time I ever went, I rolled a pro mod through the burnout box and then won it the second year, but unless you've been there and you've done it, man, you just have freaking no idea. And people get on the internet and go to typing their fucking ass off, and here we are.
Well, I shouldn't have looked
Talking
at
about
that.
Well, I haven't seen anything.
Not
on social
her,
media.
just I shouldn't. I stayed off the internet the last few days. I didn't
Yeah.
type up to anybody.
Oh,
I did
it's-
something I've never done and never
It's
typed back.
it is.
I have, I have
didn't.
too.
It-
And
it
what
is
I will
rough in
say,
there.
if you're in our industry and someone is attacking a driver,
Rough.
I understand like
It's
what
rough.
what you want to say. Please be careful when you start attacking the fans.
Yeah.
That could be it could be a very negative train. to
Oh,
go
it's
down.
rough in there. That dude
one
responded
of the
and called me a
roughest
dumbass. and
I
shit,
haven't
and
seen it. I just
I
got a
just
lot of
left it
calls
alone.
about it.
I
I
just
don't
left
get
it
on the
alone.
internet a lot. Especially
I
after
haven't
get
this
my
week at all
teeth
yet.
kicked in.
That post right there, the comments in there are rough.
Rough. Eric Enders better turn her phone off tonight.
It is bad.
But anyway, like I said, people are going to take whatever I said about the Amanda thing. I have no problem with Amanda. Amanda and I vacation together. Like, we're friends. We all do our job, and there's things that we do it differently and all the things, but we all won because of what happened that day, except for the girl who does Eric Enders PR. But everyone else won
100%.
that day.
There's more traction talking about pro stock after that. than
That's
anything.
what I'm saying. Like, it was so good. I mean, I know it sucks for Eric, and it's going to suck for you for the next couple of weeks, Courtney, but it was so good for the sport and so good for the class.
Erica, you're just an everyday martyr, I guess.
Terrible.
There's nobody that's good at what they do in our sport that people don't hate them for it. And the better you are at it, the more most people hate you for it.
Mhm.
And
that's just
if you know Erica,
like people dove all over Steve Torrance just because he's Steve Torrance.
yep,
He's
I was
kicking the
just
shit
gonna
out of
say,
everybody. He doesn't need anybody to like him, and he can afford to buy his own plane and car. So
And
like,
if you
people are not
really
gonna
know
like
these
that.
people,
And he's a really good guy.
as competitors, what makes them good is this fire that we get mad at, right? So it's like, if you know Erica, she's feisty like that. Like, if you cross her, she's spicy. If you know me on this show, she's much more calm about it, but we got the same blood. So, and Steve's the same way, and I like it. I think that it just
Now, I didn't catch it all. Were all of the driver responses to questions being negative, was it all this weekend?
No, it's been there's only been 3 or 4 situations, but like late last year, Steve popped off. He got a lot of shit. JR said something. And it's, again, I get it. It's a storyline. And Erica, whenever the Camry Erica parachute situation happened, on air, Erica said something like, "This isn't TMZ. Like, ask me something positive. I'm not here to fight Camry. Like, what's the deal?" Erica takes it a little far sometimes with that stuff because she's defensive about her sportsmanship and her driving. But again, that's why Amanda's good at her job. That's why Fox loves her. I sat on the airplane with Steve from Fox on the way to a race not long ago. They love her for it. Like, it's great. I think it's good. As a pit reporter myself, she's one of the people that I watch and want to learn from. She's one I've called in the middle of the night and asked advice for. So we're just spicy,
Damn Texas.
All right, so let's roll
Right.
through all right, that's enough. Everybody wanting to fight in pro stock, clutch pedals are flying around. Let's get to, is there anything we need to talk about? How about Will Smith did great in his Top Fuel deal in Indy? That was awesome. What else we got across the way in fuel cars and pro mods and stuff like that we need to cover? Anything good?
Tickets did go on sale for the Snowbirds. I really tried to be ticket number one. I don't know how many they sold, but I know it sold out in minutes.
The tech cards did.
Yep.
Yeah, tech cards. And that's pretty awesome. I think they sold 64 tech cards or something. They sold out in minutes. I got one.
Me too.
I got one.
I hope JR,
Guess
I
what?
hope
I'll be
JR
the
did
pit
too,
reporter.
so I can slap his ass
I'm
around.
gonna come ask you some hard questions. I'm gonna be the pit reporter.
You can ask me anything you want. I don't
You
give a
better not
shit.
climb up my ass.
You can't
I'll kick
say
you- I'll
nothing
kick you right in the
worse
knee.
about me than I say about myself, especially right
No,
now.
I want y'all to. If I want you to get mad, you'll get mad. Trust me.
You can't get me mad if I don't want to. But if I do get mad at you, get out the way.
I will.
And something that I want to talk about on our Pro Mod class. I don't know if you guys saw, we had 21 or 22 cars in Indy. We have what I think is the most talented group of racers that we've had in a long, long time. We're when you have a race where 2 Mike Janis cars don't qualify, and you're talking about world championship teams, you're not talking about people who don't know what they're doing or having a bad weekend. That shows you how stout the field is. You know, that's it. It's murder out there. You know, I feel like Deb and Finish Line Consultants is doing a great job. Shout out to Scott Tidwell again for bringing the hospitality deal.
Yep.
I think he cooked for 90 people again at this race. We have a big Pro Mod family. There's some awesome rivalry going out there right now. I feel like, and I have felt all year, like our Art of Inco team is ready to turn the corner. I feel like we're ready to turn the corner. When we do, the dominoes are going to start falling. If not, I'm going to be working at Walmart. So we're on the hunt. But there's a lot of drama in the Pro Mod pits.
If things outside of Pro Mod do not work out for me for 2024, I've already talked to Justin Elks, and I said, listen, dude, I know y'all are on the blower train, but if I can put the funds together, we are bringing the twin turbo magic back to Pro Mod in 24, and I will drive that red rocket smooth up Stevie Jackson's bunghole.
Woo!
I can show you better than I can tell you. You better keep that popping and banging piece of junk in North Carolina. Don't bring that thing.
I was a little nervous. Listen, when Lyle and I drove that bitch back in Indy, it started to pop and burn.
I know that's because the bitch is probably broke because it was probably smoking, leaking oil.
I'm trying to go through the comments real quick before we.
Sounds like a personal problem.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little scared.
And there's Stevie Pill says Pro Mod needs the turbo. They do, and I think there are 0 turbo cars this year. I would have loved to have been there, and I agree. And I love the turbo combination. It's a challenge to drive. Runs big speed, and I really like it. I have not driven a nitrous Pro Mod, but I've driven both forms of blower or all 3 forms of supercharger. And I do like driving the turbo car. It's a challenge to drive. And if I can put it together, I will campaign the turbo car in 24.
Hell yeah. And Jamie, we did talk about that earlier in the show. Ron Cap's car and the Snake Tribute deal is badass. We talked about that a little bit earlier.
Cool,
but
It was so cool. And seeing Snake up on stage with him when he won. Like, if you didn't like watching Ron Caps win that race, check your friggin' pulse.
So I've given y'all like 5 or 6 races now to make it happen. Did anybody warm a nitro car up?
No, and I asked twice this weekend, and I was told Indy's too busy.
All right, Clay, it's coming. I got about 8 days off before we got to get ready to go to St. Louis. I'm gonna go out there tonight and I'm gonna put some bolts in there as soon as I get Ronnie
that
running.
Thing won't be ready till 2026.
Clay, can I warm up your car in Reading?
Do not let that woman touch your car. You think it's been acting bad lately? I think
Neither one of us will be there. Charlotte's the best. No,
Well, then maybe that disadvantage you.
Yeah, everybody keeps dogging out my picture. I don't know when that picture was.
It was not good, Stevie.
For a long yes.
You were like this.
I don't give a shit. Like, they didn't come around and take a picture of me. I don't care. They can put a picture of Lyle's butt up on there.
Right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even remember your hair ever looking like that.
It's probably somebody photoshopped
the shit that they sold.
Shellac?
In Old Brother, Where Art Thou? God dang it. Somebody knows that.
Oh my gosh, Gary Eanes, I see you on the comments there.
The can of shit that old boy put in his hair in Old Brother, Where Art Thou? Somebody help me out. That's what there we go.
Yeah, like I said, if I'm racing at the NHRA Pro Mod race,
Dapper Dan. There you go.
They can have a picture of your butt up there over my car, and I could care less. Jeffrey Barker's been begging me around the clock to please get a nitrous car so we can go destroy the entire field. But I gotta get some cheese, and then we may get one. But as soon as I get one, they'll hang 75 pounds on the thing.
I like cheese.
Bet you do.
Shut up.
A lot of cheese with that wine.
Man, our trivia question tonight is going to be exciting.
I don't have one, so sorry.
Are you rubbing, Steve? Are you rubbing your nipple?
He was.
I had an itch.
Like he was.
Started talking about
turbo cars. Got you horned up.
I just want to make sure I was still a man after talking about turbo cars.
As Theo Vaughn would say, got you bricked up.
Got you bricked up.
Why would you talk that way in front of me?
Oh, shut up. You are much more a dude than you are. Get fucked.
Did you wear the pants?
No. No, I didn't. I was scared of y'all because I knew you'd remember. I sent these guys a picture of me at the gym today, and I had on the loudest, most obnoxious pants in the freaking planet of the earth. And I said, if I wear these tonight, we all make fun of me. And both of their responses were yes.
What's the
Look
name
like
what's the name of the drink you're drinking?
White Claw.
Topo Chico. No, Topo Chico.
That's what all employees wear at Topo Chico is them stupid pants you were wearing.
I looked good.
You went from reading To Kill a Mockingbird to a 10th grade English class to
I still have slippers on.
Tree hugging, Volvo driving soccer mom.
Yeah, because I'm a tree hugging, Volvo driving soccer mom. That's exactly what I am.
That's what those pants said. So
thank you, Michael. I haven't been to the new shop in almost 2 weeks. I have to meet the contractor out there tomorrow to pick out some cabinets, and I'm excited about it.
Let's see. Oh, yay, good. Finally.
Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Steve.
So you got trivia, Stevie?
Yep. So we have traditionally been giving away shake and bake flasks. I haven't said anything about this today, but we're just going to mix it up. I haven't told any of these guys either. We're going to give away $500 in cash to whoever gets this deal.
That
if you can, you cannot win.
Really can't get a flask either.
What? Nah, no flask tonight. We're just going to waste some money. Matt, I have no idea how we'll do any of that, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal. But $500 cash will be shipped to you if you can answer. If you're the first person on Matt's question to answer my trivia question.
There are some people with iPads, computer. They're calling kids out of bed.
They're gonna struggle.
Matter what time you got to get up for school, Jimmy. Get out here and get your iPad out.
They're gonna struggle to Google this one. I think, Matt, if you got this question and answer combo wrong, I'm gonna kill you. Because like this is people
Don't
get mad.
Matt that way.
People get mad about like if we miss up the flask deal, but they really get mad about $500. So,
this is going to take a while to get.
You think?
I just read it.
It is going to take a minute.
For $500 cash, I see our viewers are going back up. Everybody's getting little Johnny out of bed.
Johnny, come get your iPad.
Come on, Johnny, get your iPad out. We got to get this question $500.
Cost him car payment.
I'm gonna buy you Sonic.
We're gonna probably better ship that to you. Signature required.
It's you.
Okay, for $500 cash to celebrate the 21st edition of the Shake and Bake Show. Y'all are killing me. Who was?
Daddy ain't drinking Natural Ice this week.
Mute yourself.
Mute yourself. All right, for $500 cash, who was the fourth top fuel driver to be inducted into the Legends of Thunder Valley?
Do.
Google ain't gonna help you.
Maybe I'm tired of eating Beanie Weenies. I need this 500.
So before we got on here tonight, everyone except Lyle gets on here early. And Brandon Bernstein, not that. God bless him. Stevie says, I need a non-Googleable question.
And Michael, yes. Shout out to Brandon Overton too, and thank you. I appreciate that. We are a hometown group.
I see one.
I'm gonna let Matt call it just like he always does, because I don't know if it comes through on mine first or not. Is that it? I hear typing.
Yes,
that's the one I got.
Yeah.
All right, the Mark Banks Experience. Don the Snake Prudhomme.
Matt, I love your avatar, by the way.
So send a. I can tell Matt's tired this evening because otherwise he would say
spend it at MacFab.
Yeah. You get a 10% discount if you spend this $500 at MacFab. Send Matt an email to matt@steviefast.com. I think you got to send him a screenshot of your YouTube account or whatever or something to know that you're real. Is that right, Matt?
That's correct.
Man, that was quick, dude.
Look at that.
That was pretty good. And we'll get you some cheese sent out. And thank you guys for playing trivia. All right, we'll take a little Q&A, and then we're going to smoke on out of here. Annette, what did you say about kicking the snake off the starting line? What
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either.
I did not hear that at all.
I'll wait to see if I
Annette's
hear
been
that.
drinking the Cabernet.
The Cabernet.
Lyle, we can talk about that after the show.
Tom Cruise was not. All right, you got what?
After I said we'll talk about that after the show. We ain't got time.
Okay. We'll take a quick little Q&A and then we'll smoke out of there. Anybody got any questions? Lyle, how'd South Mountain go?
Terrible. Pete turned me loose and let me go and tune on my own.
It's funny how that happens. And yes, J.R. Gray is Farmer Friend. And I told him because I lined up with him and beat the shit out of him. We bet $500, and J.R. Gray has a standing $500 bet with Robbie Lowry anytime we line up till death. And he got crushed, and he was bucking Bronco and all weekend, and J.R. Gray is Farmer Friend.
Man, it is not good over there.
It is, and I almost feel bad about dogging him out because he's going through it. We are too. Our team's running like shit too. So I'm with him, but I told him he was definitely Farmer Friend this week.
Whoa, questions are coming in fast.
Yes, they are.
Shake and Bake is getting high tech. If y'all got bots.
Clay says they tried to run Bruno off the starting line. Are you kidding? They tried to kick half of our crew off because their hard cards were underneath their crew shirt. It was rough out there this weekend.
They tried to run Jim O off the starting line.
Are you kidding me? I feel like they should have a roster of faces that you just don't approach.
There's a new guy there this year that
it wasn't him. It was the local guy because he took a few races to get used to, but I had to hear.
I had my fire suit on and they wouldn't let me on the starting line. He's like, "Sir, where's your hard card?" I was like, I can't wear it and go down the track. NHRA has a policy against taking jewelry down the racetrack. I was like, I've got on my fire suit, though. I said, most fans don't have on a 20-layer embroidered fire suit.
Right. Somebody asked about me at Reading. I'm actually not going to be at Reading until Sunday. I will be at PDRA Darlington on the stream Friday, Saturday. And then I fly out early Sunday morning to Reading because I hate myself and I'm going to that.
I actually wanted to race at the Streetcar Super Nats, but my chassis guy will not ever finish a race car, so I'll never have a car to drive again. So I don't know that. That's still up in there.
Somebody said, did CE get in trouble for an unauthorized golf cart use in Indy? I don't think so, but I may have blacked out. I don't know. Not drunk, just mad.
Somebody wants to give you a bottle of booze.
Sunday.
Jimbo. Jesus.
Can you imagine how he responded to that?
I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to be on the receiving end of that. But
in Charlotte, they tried to kick Richard off, and it was something. Richard's championship ring on that gate. He said, "Oh, you want me to get behind your little gate?"
I was there when the new guy tried to kick Richard off, and he turned around to him and said, "I own 9 of these motherfuckers."
He did. And the guy said, "Are either of them up there?" And Richard said, "I don't give a fuck."
Yep.
And he's
I've been asked this question a lot. I do not think I'll be driving the last 2 races of the season, though. Indy deal was kind of a one-off deal to sort out that car. No definite plans or not, but I don't intend to. My plan is to construct a vehicle for competition next year. Should funding.
Sully, for real, both Stevie and I will be in Georgia.
Stevie, I've seen a couple of people ask if you got your generator fixed.
Was it broke?
Yeah, I didn't know.
No,
is he frozen?
Did Lyle get his generator fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know if it was tore up.
Yeah, ish. It makes power. It makes power. May not run real good, but be all right.
My mother. Put up my mother's comment.
Where is it?
Clay's clutch lady kicked him right in the nuts. We need to go take a blood pressure pill.
Oh, bless her heart.
Courtney is the one that needs a blood pressure pill.
I did really well.
Your lips were quivering. You were like, you look like Down syndrome patient over there. Like you just wanted to attack somebody.
I did, and I do, but I genuinely do like Matt. But on the racetrack, he's one of our favorite people to beat, just like he said about us. It's the same way. So you get a little hooked up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How about Decker Jr. Kicking ass
Oh,
of Yellow
yeah.
Bullet. We didn't even talk about Yellow Bullet.
Yeah.
And part of it's
Uh-oh.
because I didn't see any of it because we're at
There's
the race.
old Decker and Pro 275 world record broken, 363 with an 8 on a 275.
Wow.
That is getting down with it. Ron Rhodes, 413, big block nitrous combination, hanging a specker out.
Backer.
Smokey Russell, I think we have some decals on StevieFast.com, I think. If not, I'll have to yell at Matt. Yeah, Rhodes is kicking ass. Where's the lawsuit at? Anything going there?
I got something to say on that. I don't want to give him any more attention because all it's doing is rounding it up. But there is a second round of paperwork that went out today, and yours truly, Jenna Moorhead, has been added to the list. Along with Lyle and I. So we just keep getting shit sent to us and nothing happens. So warmest regards to you, sir.
And his biggest complaint was that we said that his race team he says he has no other members, and that's defamation of character.
So we'll see if we go to court, but just still
Ron.
getting those paperwork sent to us.
Oh, Ron. That bitch is badass. I will always.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. I will take the dogs.
Brrr.
It ain't like that. It's like.
Who said I have Tourette's? She hides her Tourette's well. No, it's when you like say things without. It's just like a syndrome where your mouth says things or you do tics and stuff. No, every mean thing.
I probably got that.
I may have cussed somebody at the bar this weekend at the embassy. I popped off twice this weekend.
I heard all y'all were fighting and drinking and hollering and getting in everybody's faces and slapping the shit out of each other and all that stuff. I got the play-by-play.
I showered, came back downstairs to hang out, and I got approached, and I told said person to get the fuck out. Wasn't good.
Y'all are going to have a fruitcake together at Christmas.
No, we ain't. She's watching. She told me she is.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's as petty as I'll get tonight.
All right. Let's roll this shit up. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you for staying up on a Wednesday.
And in typical Stevie Fast Jackson fashion.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Sorry about my bird. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Matt, roll that beautiful bean footage.